have been falling off, and my health has improved tenfold. Is my back still incredibly painful? Yes, I have a teeter now. I'm doing yoga. I'm taking Tylenol regularly. Is it manageable? I go down for hours a day. I couldn't have a 10-hour-a-day job. It wouldn't be possible. But I'm managing it without opiates, and I'm doing what I can in my own life. Isn't that what your life is about? You manage what you can, you do what you can, and try to be the best that you can. You guys, most of you, are eating food that is not food. It is fast, and it is not food. I want to encourage you with this episode of Karel Life in Segments to eat better and move more. And watch, you'll be amazed. You will feel so much better. The point of this episode is to get you back in the kitchen, to get you cooking. Americans spend more time watching other people cook than they do cooking themselves. Cooking for the 99 is about doing it affordably. I have never spent less money on food ever since I became a vegan. It has taken a little more work in the kitchen. You can do it, okay? Whether you want to be a vegan, a vegetarian, 16 million Americans, only 16 million Americans are vegetarian, and out of that, only 3 million are vegan. That's the wrong number. That number should be so much higher to make us healthier. Only because in today's day and age, whether you're morally opposed to killing of animals or not, it doesn't matter. The food supply is filthy, and it's really just about you and about your health. I want this episode to inspire you to be greedy about your health and not give it over to corporate America all the time, and to inspire you to get back in the kitchen and cook. Because is it a little more work? It certainly is. So today we're doing chinois, which I said in the dialogue or monologue, I think my mother made up the word. I just looked it up. She didn't. The dish that I am making, this poor food, it's poor person's food, it's actually called Pate Chinois in Quebec, where all of my family and all of my mother's family is from. You're gonna find that out when we do my genealogy episode. So the first thing I need to do is make some vegan cream-style corn. The dairy of vegetarians and vegan is coconut milk. By far, I go through cans of this now. This is what's gonna cream your cream-style corn. You're gonna take frozen kernel, all this on my website, by the way, reallykarel.com and lifeinsegments.com. You're gonna take 2 cups of frozen corn. We're gonna chop up some onion and some red pepper. We're gonna put some spices in it, and we're gonna cook it with a can of coconut milk, and that's gonna be our creamed corn. Then we're gonna make some meatless meat out of, believe it or not, walnuts and cauliflower. Okay, don't cringe, it's delicious. The first thing I need to do is a couple things. I need to get the potatoes going, I need to get the cauliflower going, I need to start chopping onions, and I need to get the cream-style corn going. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do, is the cream-style corn. Got my Dutch oven, which I love and adore. And I've got my frozen corn somewhere. Frozen corn, the girl's best friend. So, the frozen corn is there. Let's get an onion chopped, shall we? Yes, get some chopping going on here. By the way, your onions don't have to be chopped all that beautifully. Like these onions, I know how sweet they're gonna be. Believe me, when you're watching your sugar, onions are like candy. Now, again, the whole point of this episode is to get you in the kitchen cooking, to do it affordably, and to not scare you and saying that you can do it in a vegan fashion or a vegetarian fashion. This chinois that my mother made was just ground hamburger meat, cream-style corn, a can, by the way, of cream-style corn, and then hamburger meat and mashed potatoes. It was really just carbs and salt and stuff, but it was poor people food. You know, that's what it was. And so with just a little modification, you can make it not only vegan, but you can make it tastier, you know, better for you. You could use butter. I have that earth balance stuff, not much, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan, because I just want to soften my onions just a little before I put them in the cream-style corn. The biggest change in my life, I could not do season 4 without telling you about eating healthier. and not getting evangelistic about it, but just really trying to inspire you on this episode to get back in your kitchen and see if I can do it, so can you. I'm trying to eat healthier, and I am losing weight, and it is working, and I want everybody to do so. Now back here, I am making cream-style corn. And the reason I'm making cream-style corn is because a plant-based lifestyle is just healthier for you. And you don't have to go all out. You can just make little additions here and there. As I said earlier, 16 million Americans are vegetarian, only about 3 million are vegan. That number should be going way up because we wouldn't be customers to healthcare companies so much. We wouldn't be worried about Obamacare. We wouldn't be worried about healthcare reform because we'd be healthy. Okay, so that's my goal for these segments, to teach you how to be healthier. So today, we're going to make a chinois, which is something my mother made back when I was a kid. It's comfort food for poor people. Quite frankly, you can make it for under $5 or $7. If you want to make it my mother's way, you just mash up some white potatoes, you get a couple cans of cream-style corn, you get some ground meat, you brown the meat, you mash the potatoes, you lay the potatoes on the bottom, the meat on top of that, the corn on top of that. You do it again, you bake it with paprika on top, and you serve it. I'm going to make it a little bit healthier. I'm making the cream-style corn, and that's using frozen corn and coconut milk, the dairy of vegans, chopped parsley. We also used a pepper, a red pepper, which I used it, so I can't show it to you, a red pepper, an onion, a sweet onion, and a bunch of spices. Paprika, cayenne, salt, and pepper. So all of that is over here becoming vegan cream-style corn while we do other things. And the other beauty about doing this yourself is you can make a lot of it, and you can save it for later. That's what we're going to do with the hamburger meat that we're about to make from scratch. And it's totally vegan, and it involves walnuts and cauliflower. Two of your friends. Cauliflower is going to sub for mashed potatoes. It's going to sub for rice. It's going to sub for a lot because you don't want to be a fat vegan, and that can happen. Just because you're eating well doesn't mean that you're not going to get fat. So you got to avoid the carbohydrates as much as you can. So now we're going to go to, I'm going to my recipes on my website. Now, I'm going to make a double batch because we're feeding the crew tonight because my crew is all vegetarian and vegan. And so we're going to do a double batch. We're going to do 2 cups of cauliflower flowerets, meaning the top of the cauliflower. So 2 cups of that. And then we're going to do 1 cup of walnuts, okay? And then we're going to do a can of chipotle peppers in the adobo sauce. Now, that's adobo sauce. That's going to give it a Mexican kind of flair, and I've made Mexican cream-style corn. That's why I put in the red pepper and the onion and the cayenne. So we're doing a sort of a south-of-the-border chinois. France meets Mexico. So we're going to use the chipotles. Then we're going to spice it up with some cumin, some cayenne, salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. That's going to be our ground beef. And the way that you make that is very simple. I'm going to show you. You take a handy-dandy food processor. I use this cute little KitchenAid because my other one's packed away, and I got this at Kohl's for $25. So I'm very happy with it. So you use a cute little food processor, and you're going to process up your cauliflower and your walnuts until it looks like ground meat. So give me just a moment to do that. So we'll call that cup number 1. We put this over here in our handy-dandy food processor. And I'm just going to turn it into what looks like rice in just a moment. We'll call this cup number 2 because it just looks right. And I've learned to do that a lot in my kitchen now, just eyeball everything and say, looks right. I don't know that I can do a lot in here. I've never used it really before. This is the first real test for it. So let's see. This will shock me as much as you. Or it. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, go to town. Look at that. Oh my God, that's exciting. It's already ready. I forgot to get my big bowl out. The reason I have no cabinets on anything in my kitchen is because I like to have room to just reach in and get my bowl. You know, no one thought I could do this, and that's one of the reasons I did it. Karen, my best friend, she was like, you're never going to make a change, Boulay. You know, you're never going to make a change. You're going to keep doing the same. Do you hear this from your friends, you guys? I'm being serious. You know, that they know what you need to do to succeed. They know that you know what you need to do to, is that 2 cups? Well, let's see. You know, my friend Mark Summers does shows for the Cooking Network. I should pitch him on a vegan show. I don't think they have any. Not that are fun. Do they have any fun vegan shows? Are there fun vegans? They treat us like we have the plague. Like we have a disease. And it's not a disease. It actually helps you not get disease. So there's our 2 cups and change of our ground up cauliflower. Isn't that something? That is remarkable. Now we're going to take a little over a cup of walnuts and beat the hell out of them. Where are my nuts? Here they are. Okay, this is a meat substitute, remember. So here's a cup of walnuts. I buy mine online. Someone asked me, where do you buy your nuts? I felt sexually harassed. So basically a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 cups of your cauliflower, 1 cup plus a little more, cup of walnuts. Because you want some protein, right? We all love protein. Grind your nuts. Grind your nuts, baby. There, my nuts are ground. This little thing works like a charm. I got to send KitchenAid a note and say, God, best $20. So that goes in there. Isn't that remarkable? This is going to become ground meat. It really is. I'm not making that up. I know that most of you are going to look at me and you're going to be, I'm not turning to a vegan, Karel. You know what? Before I even cook any further, I just need to be honest and real. This is what season 4 is all about. I can't make you do this. I now know how people feel when they tell you that you should. So whether you do it a little or a lot, look, this is going to be cool. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. So what we have here is about a cup and a half of chopped up walnuts, and we have about 3 cups of chopped up cauliflower. We have a teaspoon and a half of cumin. We're going to use some cayenne pepper because we're making this spicy, dicey. So just use enough to make it spicy, dicey. Just like that. We're going to use salt and pepper to taste, and that's really up to you. I keep it low sodium because of my blood pressure now. I've been removed from my blood pressure pill. I don't want to go back on any medicine, actually. I'm tired of Western medicine. Some regular ground pepper. This is a nutmeg mill, the Frugal Gourmet. He was the first sexual harassment victim, I think, the Frugal Gourmet. Andrew loved him, and then he got accused of dorking like his assistant chef or something, and they pulled him off of PBS and everything. This is way back when. But anyway, Andrew did this because the Frugal Gourmet did that. So now what you're going to do with this is you're going to mix it around. You're going to mix it about. Use any kind of mixer that you like. I have wonderful tools all around the kitchen. That's a champagne bucket we found at a thrift store. Mix this up, okay? That's beautiful. And this is just a meat substitute. You can really make tacos with this. I'm not kidding. If you do this recipe, it's so easy. Cauliflower, walnuts, some spices, and then this magic ingredient here, the chipotle peppers in the adobo sauce. This spices it up and changes the flavor. If you don't want it spicy, leave it just like this. This is fine. This will have more of a ground beef flavor. If you want it spicy, add that. You're going to like that. You're going to be glad you did. Mix that all around. And now what you do with this is you cook it for about 35 minutes in an oven that's about 385. And that adobo sauce is going to really just dry up and color the meat, or what we're calling meat, so it looks like hamburger. Isn't that something? So the adobo sauce doesn't just spice it up, but it also colors it. And that's pretty damn cool. And I'm going to taste it raw because why not? It's just walnuts and cauliflower. Oh my God. Oh my God. You could make the hell out of tacos. So, take a baking dish. I'm going to use the Wolfgang Puck pressure oven because a listener got it for me. A viewer of Life in Segments sent me the Wolfgang Puck pressure oven. Another viewer and listener of the Karelcast sent me the Philips air fryer because they know I love to cook, and they had them and weren't going to use them. So I said, I'll try them out for you because I have the best listeners and viewers at Life in Segments. So foil line this. You can spray a little oil on it. It'll help it not stick. And, you know, oil is vegan, so go right ahead. A little oil on it. And then take your quote-unquote meat and spread it around in this pan. Call that sous chef I was talking about earlier so he can clean that up for you. Spread it out. I'll give you a shot here in just a minute. after I do this. I love doing cooking for the 99 on Life in Segments. I love bringing cooking to Free Speech TV and to Reverie and to Pluto and all the other places online that we are, because whether you know it or not, it's the most important thing in your life. Somebody cooks for you 3 times a day. May not be you, and you might be giving it over to a corporation. Okay, the Wolfgang Puck pressure oven will kill you. It will, if you let it, so don't let it. I've been preheating it to 385 degrees, so now I'm going to turn the timer off. I'm going to vent it, and then I'm going to pop this and pop this. All of that just to get in it. Now in the Wolfgang, this would normally go in your regular oven for about 35 minutes. I'm going to put it in there for 20 minutes in the Wolfgang Puck pressure oven because it cuts time down on everything. And I'll seal it up again. There we go. 20 minutes. I'll give it a little over 20 at 385, and away we go. So that'll get the meat. We're making a chinois. It's poor people's food from Europe, from Quebec, actually, where I just found out a lot of my family is from through Ancestry.com. I am 43% Iberian Peninsula, i.e. France, and Great Britain, and then I'm 19% Irish, which I'm very happy to hear. This chinois my mom would make when we had a little tiny bit of money, and it would go a long way. So I'm making the taco meat that we need for it, or the ground beef that we need for it, out of walnuts and cauliflower. And over here, I have already made the creamed corn. And as I told you all in this segment, the dairy, the cream for vegans is coconut milk. And this is the cream corn, and look at it. It looks like cream corn. I'm going to take some out for you so you can see. And the smell is beyond incredible. It smells so, doesn't it smell good? It smells so good. There, that's cream corn. Now, if you want it a little thicker, I bought a little agar, and I'm not stuttering. It's what it's called, agar. I want to name a rock band that. Here they come, agar. You can sprinkle a little agar in it. That'll thicken it up. You can also buy guar gum and xanthan gum at Sprouts and Whole Foods and Amazon and all of that, and that'll thicken it up too. So I'm going to let this cool down just a little because we don't need it until we have the meat ready. So we will let that just cool. Over here, it will chill out. The last thing we need are the potatoes. That's just pretty straightforward. We are going to boil cauliflower, this much cauliflower. We're going to boil it with this potato and these red potatoes right here. And the reason I'm mixing that up is because they're different starches and they do different things to your body. Red potatoes have less carbohydrates than white potatoes. So we're going to use this, these 3, and maybe these 2 and that. This extends it out and takes away a lot of the calories that you get from the potatoes. So what you're going to see happening now is me preparing all of this, where I take the potatoes and lay it on a baking dish. I put the cauliflower, the mashed sweet potato, and the mashed red potato. I mash those all 3 together. I put them on the bottom of a baking dish. Then I cover it with a layer of the taco meat, cover it with the cream-style corn, then repeat that, bake it in the same 385 oven for about 20 minutes, covered with paprika, and then serve. It is a vegan delight. It is poor people's food. Put some hot sauce with it, and you're going to have a delight. You are also going to have leftovers. So I hope I didn't sound too preachy, too evangelistic. I hope that this episode I really want to take a moment to try to inspire you to eat better. It has changed my life. I wish Andrew Howard were alive today so he could see me in this healthier state, not on 5 prescription drugs. I love all of my doctors. I just think today doctors see you more as clients. You know, a healthcare company won't pay for a nutritionist. They won't pay for someone to come and do a consult at your home about what you're eating. They won't send someone grocery shopping with you. A health insurance company won't pay for a gym membership for the most part, send you to the pool. They won't send someone by like a personal trainer to get you out and get you exercising. These are things, unfortunately, that they think aren't going to help. And yet, it's the only thing that will. I am living proof sitting right here in front of you. I am Karel. Be who you want to be. Song doesn't hurt anybody. Remember, social media is really Karel. Online, it's lifeinsegments.com and reallykarel.com. Recipes are at reallykarel.com under the blog, and all video is at lifeinsegments.com. We are, of course, supported by you, so don't forget, if you like what you see, well, there's ways to donate at each of those websites.